You are listening to Season 2 of The Diary of a Wannabe Writer, the short and often daily podcast in which I chronicle my life and attempt to be a writer by writing daily. Sometimes. Hello, today is Tuesday the 11th of November 2025 and you're listening to The Diary of a Wannabe Writer. My intention this morning was to go to the gym and I set my alarm for 7:30, but actually woke up an hour before that and I thought about going in straight away, but I couldn't remember what time it all opened, but luckily I've got my app with all the opening times on it. So I looked at the opening time and it turns out that it was 7 o'clock, not as I had in my head, 6 o'clock. So I had a cup of, did I have a cup of tea? No, I had a cup of coffee. And then at just after 7 o'clock, I was in the gym. So yesterday I did swimming. Today I did, is it aerobic or anaerobic? The one that mainly heart related, getting your heart pumping. So I did 20 minutes of, I think it's aerobic, isn't it? I did 20 minutes on the treadmill. Now, because I can't, to raise my heartbeat, normally you have to go faster. I can't do that because I'm limited to not much more than 3 miles an hour with my hip. If I do more than that, it starts to hurt quite badly. But what I did was I increased the incline, so I ended up at a 6-degree incline, so it did get me working quite hard. And then they've got a lovely member of staff there who actually did my induction a couple of weeks ago, and I haven't seen her since, and she'd actually been looking at possible stuff that I could use to help build my thigh muscles up, because she knows about the issue with the hip, and she took me through them. Unfortunately, they're ones that I can't do because I've got almost no sideways motion in one of my hips. I can walk, but I can't lift my leg out to the side or do any of that kind of stuff. So that was a bit of a shame, but it's lovely that she thought of it. I then did the weights that she did, or showed me to do in my induction, and then I did another 20 minutes of aerobic, whatever one it is. Was it anaerobic? No, it's aerobic, isn't it? So I did 20 minutes on the hand bike, and then 10 minutes on the hand bike, 10 minutes on the stepper, and I was done by not long after 9 o'clock. So my original plan then was to go straight shopping because I want to make some soup, but I forgot to take anything to change into, and I didn't think it was appropriate to walk around Waitrose in sweaty gym gear. So I went to Tesco instead. I am joking. I didn't go to Tesco instead. I decided it wasn't even appropriate there, so I didn't. I didn't go, so I haven't made my soups. So tomorrow, because I'm going to go to the gym again tomorrow morning before I do anything else, and I'm going to remember to take a change of clothes so I can buy my soup ingredients and so I'm going to make a roasted tomato soup and a roasted potato and leek soup. So I'm looking forward to that. The next thing I did today was, well, it wasn't straight away. I did more general tidying. I put my new lights that I've got up in my loft, so I was very pleased with that. And then I also did something I've been meaning to do for a while, and that was built my Lego set that my friend got me for my birthday 2 months ago. And I waited because I wanted to do it on a live stream. I'd said to them I'd record me doing it. I'd said to her that I'd record me doing it, and her landlord goes, "Oh, I'll watch that as well." So I kind of thought I ought to do this only when, the space is clear to enable me to do it. Well, it was clear today, so I did build the Lego set's from a computer game called Fortnite, and what I made was something called a supply llama. I think it's set 77071 for anybody who's interested in looking it up. It's also on YouTube, on my YouTube channel, which you can find from my link tree. But yeah, so I did that. And then I stripped back my kitchen and took everything off the work surfaces, cleaned the work surfaces, cleaned everything before I put them back on the work surfaces. So there's one little work surface that's like a breakfast bar that I didn't have time to do because at the moment it's just got everything else dumped on it, but I will do that either later today or tomorrow morning. So yeah, house is starting to feel like an actual house again, so that's nice. And then the final thing I did this afternoon in terms of writing, I wasn't really in the mood to write because I'm kind of in the get the house clean kind of mode at the moment, but I want to try and do at least a couple of writing sprints every day, even if I'm not particularly in the mood, in order to, get bit of progression going. And I did. I wrote about 1,200 words. And I'm going to read a quick segment out to you because it's a scene where somebody is calling in sick to their supermarket retail job to inform them they're not going to be in. So I would just like to say that I totally made up the name of the supermarket manager character that picks up the phone. He's not a real person at all. So let me read the scene. Saywood made up her mind. She was not working tonight. Because it was daytime, none of the managers she worked for would be working, but she was going to have to call the duty she was going to have to call the duty manager on the day shift. Staff were not meant to call in on behalf of anyone else, but she decided to let them know why Charlie was not going to be in as well. She dialed the number. The phone rang a few times, then it was picked up. "Wayne," said the surly voice on the other end. It was her friend. It was her... No, I'm not going to say friend. It was her... It was the manager who'd been on the door at the work do last weekend. I'm just going to change that. It was the manager who'd been on the door at the work do last weekend. "Hello," she said. "It's Grace from the night team." "Fucking hell, you're not calling in sick as well, are you?" was the response. "You're the third call for nights I've taken today." "I'm sorry to hear that," lied Saywood. "Charlie Liang's mother died overnight. He found her body this morning. I've been with him most of the day. I haven't had a chance to sleep. I'm sorry. I will be in as normal tomorrow night." She could almost hear Wayne's brain working out what to say next. "You're not entitled to time off for that." "Well, I'm not coming in," replied Saywood. "Sorry, I will be back for my next shift." There was a pause. "Is Charlie coming in?" Saywood shook her head. Was he serious? "We can't have 4 people missing tonight," Wayne continued. "Charlie spent the day with the undertaker," lied Saywood. "He's had no sleep since his shift. He won't be there." "Jesus Christ," swore Wayne. "Is he due in on Saturday?" "He is." "Will he be working?" Saywood closed her eyes. She wanted to yell, "What do you think, you heartless bastard," down the phone at him, but reined herself in just in time. "What do you reckon, Wayne?" she said sweetly. "Reckon the store's going to be bloody half empty tomorrow morning," said Wayne gloomily. "Tell Charlie he needs to phone me himself." "Don't be a prick," said Saywood before she could catch herself. "I'll call Tom tonight and let him know what's happening. Bye." She ended the call quickly before throwing the phone onto her duvet and bursting out laughing. For some reason, I found writing that exceedingly entertaining and cathartic. Sorry I've overrun by a minute. Never mind. There was at least one person in the audience who was going to know exactly who that was based on. Anyway, that's me done for today. I'll be back at some point tomorrow, hopefully telling you that I've finished chapter 19 and, and maybe even editing as well. Thank you for listening. Take care. Bye-bye. You have been listening to The Diary of a Wannabe Writer. For more information about what I'm writing, go to linktr.ee/Richard Writes, capital R, capital W, where you can find details of my website and social media. I may see you there.